Epic family, 2020 hasn't been the year that any of us had in mind. And yet, in the midst of so many challenges, God has been faithful to us. When this pandemic started in March, we had to pivot everything we were doing as a church. Our Sunday gatherings went completely digital. We even added a 7:30 gathering on Sunday mornings. And then on Easter, completely digital. We had way more people attend Epic this Easter than any previous Easter in our history. All of our groups had to go digital as well. And I want to tell you, this fall, with over 50 groups, we had more people attend groups than ever before. But as we were building that community and spiritual growth, there was also a ton of need and hurt, both in our Epic Church community and in our city. To that end, we launched a COVID fund, and to date, we've given over $137,000 to help tons of people in our church and in our city with rent support, groceries, counseling, and other needs that have arisen due to this pandemic. I've been blown away by how the Epic community has served our city. Every week throughout this entire pandemic, we have fed thousands of people through the food pantry at Bessie Carmichael School. And don't forget, we were the distribution center in our city for District 6, giving out masks and PPE equipment, sanitizer, and wipes. And then spiritually, we've seen people come to faith in Jesus. We've seen other people come back to faith in Jesus. We've seen lots of transformation and spiritual growth take place throughout our community. Our Epic kids have had to pivot, and they now have a compelling online experience every single week. And our Epic student ministry has actually grown with over 20 students showing up for their Zoom calls on Thursday nights. We've learned that God is still present, and we believe that Epic's best days are still ahead of us. As we move into 2021, I want you to know that in February, we're going to celebrate 10 years as a church. We're also going to pray and continue to search for Epic's long-term home. And we believe that the current vaccine news is going to allow us to regather at some point in 2021. We're looking forward to relaunching as a church and starting our second decade with a ton of momentum. Now, I know this has been a hard year, and as your pastor, I want you to know that I love you and that I'm so inspired by how you have leaned in during such a challenging year. Thank you for how you've prayed, for how you've served, and for how you've given during this year. As we set our sights on 2021 and beyond, I want to encourage you, if you're able to make a year-end gift to Epic Church. It's become clear that our mission matters more now than ever before, and I think we have an unprecedented opportunity to lead the way in rebuilding the city of San Francisco. It is such a privilege to be in this with you. And if you have a need, even as this year comes to an end, I want to tell you what I've been saying to you throughout this entire 2020. We are here to meet your need. Please let us know how we can support you even as this year ends. One of the things I've done throughout 2020 is run with my daughter, Kavita. In fact, we've run several times a week throughout this entire pandemic, and it's just about 2.5 miles, so don't judge me if that's not enough for those of you who are triathletes. But whenever we get close to the end of our run and it's like, are we gonna be able to finish? I say to Kavita, let's finish strong, because when you finish strong, and then she chimes in and says this, when you finish strong, you get stronger. Epic Church, we have gotten stronger even in the midst of a challenging year. And so let's finish 2020 strong so that we as an entire community, for God's glory and the sake of our city, will get stronger.